To get rolling in our After Effects 103 course, I want to talk a little bit about the toolbar located in the upper left-hand corner of the After Effects interface. Now, you might not find the toolbar in the upper left-hand corner of the interface. Why is that? Well, depending on which After Effects workspace you currently have selected, it may appear somewhere else in the interface. Now, we're going to be working with the standard workspace. That's why we find it in the upper left-hand corner. Now, what I also want to draw your attention to is the fact that when I head on over and I mouse over any one of the tools, you'll see I'm not only told what the tool is, but what the keyboard shortcut for that tool is. Now, I do want to point something out that's very important, and let's use the hand tool as an example. Let's say that I didn't want to have H as the hand tool's keyboard shortcut. I'm going to navigate to Edit, I'm going to come down to Keyboard Shortcuts, and I'm simply going to type in hand. Once the hand shortcut has appeared, let's just remove it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that shortcut from H to Option or Alt and H. Now watch what happens when I say OK and I head back up to that tooltip. You'll see that the keyboard shortcut is still displayed as H. However, if I just press H on the keyboard, nothing happens. You're going to want to make sure that you remember that you change that keyboard shortcut to be Option or Alt and H, and you'll now see that the keyboard shortcut switches over to give us access to the hand tool. Now, depending on what we have loaded up, whether it's in the composition window, what we have selected in our project, that toolbar's tools will change. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to choose the selection tool by pressing V on the keyboard. What I'm now going to do is simply double click on one of these clips, and as soon as I do, you'll now see that some new tools have become active. Now, none of these tools we're going to be using in this course, so we're just going to ignore them for right now, and I'm just going to focus on the hand tool and the zoom tool. One thing I like about the hand tool is that I don't necessarily use the keyboard shortcut to activate it. What I like to do is use a cross-application shortcut that you can use in Photoshop as well as After Effects by simply pressing and holding down on the space bar to call up the hand tool as well. Now we can reposition our footage inside of the composition window. Now what I also want to do is I'm going to call up the zoom tool. We can simply click on it or use the keyboard shortcut of Z or Z if you're one of my American friends. And what you can now do is simply choose an area of the frame that you want to zoom in on. Let's use these steps. And I'm simply going to click on that, and as I do, you'll see that I'm zooming into that part of the image. What we can also do if we now want to zoom back is simply hold Option or Alt on the keyboard depending on the platform you're on, and you can now zoom back exactly the same way. And once you've gotten back to the zoom distance that you're happy with, you can simply press or hold the space bar to call up the hand tool to reposition that frame, or what you can do is navigate down to the zoom option and simply come down and fit it to the window. Now again, just to take things one step further, I'm simply going to press V on the keyboard on both Mac and Windows to call up the selection tool. I'm going to choose one of these clips. I'm going to drag it and drop it down into the Create New Composition button. And once I do, you'll now see that with the clip selected, I have access to all of the tools across the entire toolbar. Now in this course, we're only going to again be focusing on a few tools: the selection, hand, and zoom tool, the pan behind tool, as well as a couple of masking tools. Now what we're going to be doing over the next few lessons is we're going to be working our way towards talking about keyframing. Now to do that, I want to talk about getting in and adjusting some very common clip-based parameters, so let's talk about that right now.